So you talked about the woman make the all at home, like the dishes and the.
Yep.
So it's also addiction, or because
Yep.
I personally do it because I want to feel good at my home, but then get angry when it's not got seen. So. But I told myself I love to do it because I like a clean home. So.
Yep, and the reality is a lot of men don't take personal responsibility for their space, particularly their home space, and so they do expect women to do it. And if the woman doesn't do it, the men starts projecting disapproval and starts feeling like you're not a very good woman, and they start looking for other women, and so that makes you feel very unsafe and insecure. And so there's a lot of reasons why women have the addiction of being a homemaker. The reality is God didn't create you to be a homemaker. He created you, remember, you're half of a soul too, by the way. He created you and your half to find their true passions and desires and also find their personality and nature and be that. And there's no homemaking in the spirit world in the sense of, no family you're going to have to care for there. There's no children to bring up there. Your life having children is over once you leave this earth, right? And when I say having children, I don't mean bringing up children, because there's heaps. There's 200 million children who die every year on this planet, and they have all got to be looked after, right? So you'll have children, but they won't be yours. You won't be addicted to them being yours. And so the whole homemaker thing is certainly an addiction for women, but why do women do it? A lot of times it's because the men have expected them to do it for centuries, and that's how they get the sense of their worth, right? But God's going, your worth isn't a homemaker. Your worth, he feels you're the pinnacle of his creation. You're already worthy no matter what you do, but your worth is to find and be the person you actually are in the world, not to be a homemaker. Bringing up children is just like a minor part of that. It's just an experience that you'll have. And by the way, the men should be sharing in that experience at least 50% share of the same experience. So you shouldn't be the person home cleaning the, floor. He should be half cleaning the floor. He shouldn't be the person going off to work. You and he should be going off to work. You shouldn't be the person looking after the children. You and he should be the person looking after the children. If there was a true division of equality, of love of each other, that's what you would do, right?
So when I acknowledge that addiction and let it and feel all that comes up.
You can see there's fear there, isn't there? If I change this, who's going to be the very first person upset?
Myself. And God.
Why yourself? You're right, yourself will be the first person. Why?
Because I'm not loving. Because I do.
Well, there's the perception you're not. That's been projected to you for centuries, millennia, girls, So firstly, you're going to have to go through that. But once you go through that, who else is going to be upset? Your
man.
children
and
your husband are definitely going to get upset because your mum's changing. She's not cleaning up after me anymore. She's not doing my washing anymore. She's not doing my ironing anymore. She's not cooking my meals anymore. She's off having her fun. Right? How dare she? That would be the general response. And so a lot of women are very afraid of that. The perception from their own children that they're a bad mother, and the perception from their own husband that they're a bad wife. Right? So the feelings you'll have to go through as well. And then on top of that, you'll have to deal with the barrage of anger and rage coming from the men when you're not doing what they want. Right? Which, by the way, is a sin on their part, wanting it anyway. Because they should be treating you equally anyway. Yeah?
I think also the fear that comes up now is I don't know who
you are.
Yeah.
Yep. That's very true. Most women on earth never discover who they are. never discover their nature, their personality, because they've imbibed the role, and it is a role that you've imbibed from both mother and father. Mum loves it, you know, and so she teaches you to do it, and Dad loves it because he gets all his addictions met by you doing it. And so both parents, you're getting huge amounts of approval from both parents if you embrace the role. And if you don't embrace the role, what do they think? It's like, my daughter, you know, she doesn't want to have children. You know, we're not going to ever have any grandchildren. You know, my daughter's just been selfish, you know.
A bit weird, yeah.
Yeah, she's
She'll never be fulfilled.
She's gone nuts, you know. Yeah. She's lost perspective on what life should be. Yeah. There she was off listening to this Jesus character who's misled her. Right. But really all I'm doing is saying what you feel, isn't it? What you feel is, I am fundamentally unseen. I'm fundamentally disapproved of unless I do exactly what other people expect of me as a woman. I'm scared of changing that for two reasons. One is because I'm scared of who am I if I don't do it. And then the other reason I'm scared is because how's everybody treat me if I don't do it? Right? So scared on a number of levels. And then also sexually scared. Like, men get violent sexually when they don't get what they want. They do. That's why there's more men rapists than there are women rapists, right? There's more men committing child abuse than women committing child abuse, sexual abuse, I mean. Right? Why is that? Because men get pretty upset when they don't get what they want, and particularly what they want sexually. Get pretty angry about that. Because they've got a whole set of their own problems with approval, with sexual desires and so forth. So that, and often they don't deal with that. So it is very scary as a woman to make this fundamental change. But if you make it, you're going to help the change in the world. And also, not only that, your children, and particularly your girl children, will be benefited from it. But also your male children will no longer think that they can do the same as the generations of males who have done this to women for thousands of years. And that's a good thing if your male child no longer does that. Right? If he has a more equal view of women and life with women. Yeah? So there's a lot of good things that will come from it, but it does require going through the terror, dealing with the addiction and seeing me being a homemaker is an addiction, and dealing with that addiction and going through the terror that you have of being anything else. It's very important for your life.